on the channel. Yes. So the last recording has been dropped on our YouTube channel. So feel free to watch it. You can share with other people too that might be interested in also watching. And those that also need professional consulting services, they can reach out to us. We'll be willing and ready to work with them. So, like I said, this Zoho Books is a fantastic software. It's a fantastic software, right? And when you have the knowledge of these Zoho Books, I can bet it, right? You are a step ahead of other that don't have the knowledge. And we are, of course, we are in the digital age. So the knowledge of accounting software and digital, tools and gadgets are as important as ever. So we've covered the overview. So we've dropped the two videos on our YouTube channel. So we've covered that. And then of course, we've covered the items, right? And we talk about the items as inventory. So your inventory is very important because that's the primary source of your earnings. That's where you earn primarily in your business, your products, your services, and everything needs to be set up, properly. Your invoicing, when your suppliers supply you your products, and you need to properly register them in with the appropriate name, the quantity, the price, and everything, so that it will capture the aspect, of the cost of goods sold, right? And of course, when you are invoicing to your customer, it will also cover for your sales as well. And since it's an accounting software, so it's a software, so the posting, once it is done correctly, it will go into the various ledgers of the account to get the reports that you need to get to. So moving on into today, build up to the last um training on the inventory. So we come to sales. So on the sales aspect, of course, it covers so many things, and you can see from the drop down menu. If I drop this down on the sales, so you can see customers, you can see quotes, you can see retainer invoices, you can see sales orders, then the invoice proper, you can see sales receipts, recurring invoices, the payment link, payments received, and of course the credit note. So we'll be covering each aspect of these sales, even though it is elaborate, but we'll quickly cover it in this training of today. So coming to customer, of course, like we usually say that customers are king, right? Customers are king. And of course, when you have the right customer in your business, you are sure that that business definitely move forward. So you must have the data of your customers, right? You must have the data of your customer, and you must protect it. You must protect it, because if you don't protect the customer's data, if it leaked to your competitor, they can take your customer from you. So you having your customers' data, very important. Their name, their address, their email, their contacts, and everything, all the data that you need. So you must have it, right? And as you have it, you must, be able to keep communication. You must be able to maintain relationship with your customer. You must serve them well. Serve them well so that they will keep on coming. So when you look at the aspect of the customers, you register it. The customers can either be business or they can be individual. So when we say customers are business, it means that they are registered business, right? For example, you as a person now, maybe you are our customer in TOSJOHN Consulting, and then we want to, implement our professional services to you. So we'll confirm, do you have a business, a registered business? So if you have, we'll use your registered business to put it in here, right? So first, we can say, okay, your first name, and of course, your own last name. So we can key it in, right? We can key it in here. So we can key the name here. You can see, we can key the name here. Let's assume new, and then, for example, like this, and it will ask you the company name, right? So there's a company name, you just put it here, right? And it will ask you, what do you want to show on the invoice? Of course, use the company name to show on the invoice. So make sure you put the email address, right? Because with the email address, you can always follow up with the customer. If you have any latest information, you can always share it with the customer. So it helps you to maintain a very, up-to-date information, frequent communication with the customer. So you put the email address, and of course the phone number is very important. You put it, mobile, work phone number, either any two, you can put it. You can put two phone numbers there, so that if one goes through, fine. If the other one does not go, no problem. At least you make sure that you can always communicate with the customers. Then we have these other details. That you can put. Other details, like, of course, other details like we have other details that you can put, like company ID. If they have, you can put it. If they have for tax, you can put it. Of course, if that, product is meant for, if it is vatable, if it's something that you need to apply VAT on, you have to put it there, right? Of course, the currency is already there, the naira, you put it there. So just make sure that all the necessary information are inside the customer's name. So you can see everything there. So you put it there. Then we have address. The address of the customer, you also put it, because all this information you are putting there will also appear on the invoice. And of course, now that we're already having the e-invoicing, there's what we call e-invoicing. We have the video on our YouTube channel. You can watch it. So the rollover for large company with 5 billion and above turnover has already started. So it has started. So the companies with 5 billion to 1 billion will start on or before the end of this year. And then those companies with turnover of 1 billion and below, their own will start next year. So the invoice is very important, because you must report all your invoice with the Nigeria Revenue Service platform. That's what we call e-invoicing. You report your invoice real life, so that NRS wants to show that, okay, this company are compliant. They are actually remitting the VAT that they're supposed to register. And this Zoho Books is very suitable for that e-invoicing. So for companies that want to implement e-invoicing, we also help them. Of course, we charge them a professional fee and help them to implement the e-invoicing to stay compliant. So you can see all this information, you key them into the, system. Then we have the contact person. If there's a contact person with that customer, you put the information there. So all the informations here are very detailed, right? They are very detailed. So you have all this information, you put it, and of course, once you are okay with all this information, then you can now, save. You save it, and that customer will be duly registered on the system. So we have another one we call quotes. It's more like, when you say quotation, right? You want to do a business with somebody, the person said, okay, let me have your quotation. Let me see what, you want to do for us. So you can have a quotation, and send it to your customer on what you want to do. So if you have registered the customer here before, you put it here. And of course, this software is very flexible. Even if you have not registered the customer before, it will tell you new customer, right? You can still put the customer here from where I showed you the other time. You can put it there and register the customer you want to send code to. So you can see the code, reference number is auto-generated, right? It's always generated automatically. So you can use the auto-generated code reference number. So the date, like I told you, anywhere you see all this red and you see asterisk in front, you must put all the information correctly there. So any other one without those red asterisk, you can leave them out. They are optional. You can decide to put it if you want to put it, but if you don't put it, there's no problem as well. So, but everyone that has those red asterisk, you must ensure you put all those information. So you send your codes, you can see it. So all those items, products, you quote them in and everything, then you save. If you are okay, you save and you can now send to your customers. So that's on the aspect of quotation. Then we have retainer invoices. On these retainer invoices, right? Maybe there's a customer that you've already have an agreement with to be sending invoice to on a monthly basis on what they want to purchase from you. For example, for us as TOSJOHN Consulting, when we, when you reach out to us for our professional services, right? We can definitely be serving you on a monthly basis as a tax consultant. So like filing all your monthly taxes for you. So we are like serving you as your outsourced tax, professional or consultant. So we will now be sending you invoice on a monthly basis. Okay, maybe we agreed 200K as your tax consultant on a monthly basis. So instead of us going to be doing the invoice every month, so we can just have this retainer invoice. Once we do it, right, on a monthly basis, do you understand now? It will be generating that invoice for us automatically. And then once you set the customer email that you should be sending it to, it will automatically send it to the customer. You understand? Then you can get your payment as early as possible. So that's on the aspect of that retainer invoice. So there is also sales order, right? So convert sales order to purchase order, convert sales order to invoice, create customized sales order, create partial. So sales order can be used in all these different, form, right? Okay, saying something, this feature is not available in your plan. So there are plans that we work on this. Of course, it must have been subscribed and everything, but there is what we call sales order, which you can use in any any situation, right? To send it as invoice, send it as purchase order, send it as a sales order to your customer. So anywhere, anything you want to use it to do, you can do that. Then we now have the invoice proper. The invoice proper, of course, is the invoice that you want to send to your customer after you have agreed all the terms and conditions and everything, all the prices. So the terms of sales, you can see there. Once you put your customer's name, for example, you put this, your customer name, the invoice number is auto-generated. The invoice dates, of course, it is set to the date of the invoice. But if it is another date, you can choose another date as well, right? You can choose any date that you want to use. So then there's what we call terms of, business. For example, I'm sending you invoice now and we are not doing credit. I will send it on due on receipt, right? Due on, you pay immediately, you get the invoice, you pay for that product or service. Then you have net of 15 days, right? Maybe you are giving 15 days to the customer after you send the invoice, or 30 days or 45 days or 60 days. But we strongly advise for growing or upcoming business to avoid credit sales. so that those credit sales will not go and turn to bad debt, right? And then it will affect the cash flow, the revenue of the business, right? So if you know that you cannot do credit credit sales, don't do it, right? Collect your payment before service, collect your payment and then do your service or send your product. So we have different terms of condition, and you can also configure your own terms and conditions here for the invoice. So once you set that, then you can issue your invoice to the customer. So you also have, of course, you select the products that you want to sell after you have registered it from this item that we did last week, which is on our YouTube channel. You can watch it. So you can choose the product. Once you choose the product, it will come out for you. And then once we save, there's save to draft. Save as draft means that it has not been completed, but when you save and send, it means that it has been completed. So you can see, for example, now, this is the invoice. This is the invoice. So you can, see the invoice, for example. Okay, wait. Like, for example, now this invoice has been saved. So it's asking us that we should send it. So see email address, see the email, you can put the email address, send to. You can put the email address here. You can send to as many people that you want to send it to. So once this email has been saved, you can see a preview of it, right? So look at it. It's even asking you that you should pay, right? You can see it's asking you that you should pay for that. Once you click on pay here, right, it will take you to where you can pay if it has been properly set. But if it has not been properly set, of course, the customer will also put the account details on the invoice that they can pay to. So that is on the aspect of the invoice. Then we have this sales receipt. This sales receipt can basically be used for business that have, customer that, like, for example, supermarkets. Customer want to buy quickly and go out. So instead of you putting name of customer, putting all this necessary information, you don't need to do that. Look at it now. In this place, customer name is not, most importantly, compulsory, right? Because there are customers that will just buy one or two things and they will leave. So just do receipt date, put the date here quickly. Sales receipt will to generate for you. Don't need to be keying any much information because those customers don't have time, right? So this aspect of sales receipt have been designed for all those supermarkets, all those, business that have customers that are coming in, pharmacy, all those businesses. So just put, you don't even need to put anything sef. This receipt date will come up by itself. You can see I didn't put any date, come up by itself on the date that you want to do it. The sales receipt, it has generated on its own. So within 3 seconds, you quickly do this. So what you just need to do is the products that you want to sell. And you don't need to even come and be typing the product. I told you about the, what's it called? The barcode, right? Before the product has been registered, the barcode will be there. Just use that scanning machine that they will put, on that product. It will show that it will just bring the product out immediately for you. Once you bring the product out, just save it. The customer will just pay them, print out, give them their receipt straight up. Within 3 seconds, you are done. Do you understand now? You are done. So the other one here is just, okay, payment mode. What did they pay? Is it through bank? Is it through cash? You just select it so that it will go through the right account. And this can be done within, you can see the bank name. You select the bank that they are paying to. Within 3-5 seconds, you are done. And the customer, of course, is happy. So you can see this is the beauty of the accounting software. Then we have recurring invoice here. Recurring, from the name, reoccur. That invoice, right, is recurring. It's something that you usually use, right? So you can set a recurring invoice that instead of you going to and be doing it, right, it will just be coming up by itself. When do you need it? Weekly? Is it weekly, 2 weeks, month, 2 months? You understand? You can set it like that. And that same invoice will be updating itself and will be giving you that invoice. Anything you want to do with it, you can do it instead of you going to go and be doing that invoice every time you need it. So it's a recurring invoice. You just set it automated and it will be generating for you. Then we have payment link, right? There's also payment link on this software as well, right? So you can create a payment link. For example, a customer set the payment amount, you put it there, expiring date. So when you want that customer to pay and everything, then you generate the link and send to the customer. So you can see the beauty of this accounting software. Then we have payments received. When customer pay for a product, right, you can always get it here. Do you understand now? You can always get it here. And you can also go to unpaid invoices and then get payment of those products, send it to the customer and let them make payment. But as many payment that you have received, it will always show in display. And you can also import, sales that you have received from your bank statement, import it into this software, and then you match it with the customers that make those payments on their invoices. So then we have credit notes. Credit note, as we have been taught in school, and we also know what credit notes means. When you issue a credit note, to a customer, it means that there's like an overpayment, right, on their invoice. So you send a credit note to them so that you can pay them the difference of that overpayment. So you can generate a credit note, right, which you can also use, right, to do your posting to correct the ledger account. So that is on the aspects of this sales. You can see it's very elaborate, but it is direct, it is straightforward, and any business that use accounting software in this time we are, right, they are doing themselves a lot of good. They are doing themselves a lot of good because you have first-hand information, you are delivering efficiently to customers, and customers are satisfied with what you are giving them, right? Customers are not waiting for long hours. Customers are not waiting to get the statement of their transactions. If you say your customer is owing you, right, customer say, okay, let me see my transaction with you. You can quickly pull all their statements out. Customer statement, you can pull it out and send it to them, right? Every customer will have their statement. You send it to them, right? And then they can settle all their bills. They can settle all their bills with you, and everybody is happy, and the business continue to deliver efficiently, right? Unlike customers or businesses that are using manual processing, which is not efficient, which is time consuming, right? Which is service dissatisfaction to customer. Is dissatisfaction. If customer needs to like do what they want to do within 5 seconds and you are wasting their time with 5 minutes, they will be bored. They will not want to come back again to buy from you. So this accounting software has really make life very efficient, very, very easy for customers, and it is a game changer for any business that can put it in place. And there's no how that business will not even need to implement this accounting software because of this new compliance that is in this Nigerian Tax Reform Act, this e-invoicing. So every business must have a workable accounting software. If not, any business or service provider that will implement it for them, they will charge them heavily if they are using their platform. But with this accounting software, with 300K, we can implement it for business efficiently, and everybody is okay, everybody is fine, and life goes on well, easily. So this is where we'll be dropping it on this today's training on this sales aspect. So you can see that we are taking all those menu one after the other for clarity, for easy understanding. So I don't know whether your background is quiet. Maybe if you have any question you can ask before we call it a day on this training. Okay, so if there are no questions, we'll be stopping here tonight and then we meet again in another live session. Thank you for joining tonight's training and have a good night's rest.
Thank you, sir. I'm
You're
sorry, I was trying
welcome.
to.
So we'll be dropping this on our YouTube channel. Yes, I understand. So we'll be dropping this on our YouTube channel. You can feel free to watch it. All the training that we've done, we've dropped everything. So you can watch them again and again. And if there are any questions after you have watched them, you can always take care of that in another training.